All right, an Indonesian has died during a light plane accident in Greece on Thursday, while another survived. The one-engine plane was crashed near the sea near Mount Kako near Crete, Greece on Thursday morning. Before the accident, the pilot sent Mayday calls to the nearby ground traffic control. Now, according to local media, only two persons were on board when the accident took place. They were on their way from Podgorica in Montenegro to Hurghada in Egypt when it happened. Witnesses say they saw two people trying to escape when the light plane started drowning and rescuers rushed to help them. However, a 68-year-old Indonesian died on his way to the hospital, while a 26-year-old South African survived but wounded. Right, and what has the Indonesian embassy in Athens steps have they been taking following the death of an Indonesian in a plane accident there? Joining us now from Athens is the third secretary at Indonesia's embassy in Athens, Reinhard Klausu-Rinka. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, Mr. Reinhard, could you please tell us first about the chronology of the incident? How did the crash occur?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. It was indeed shocking to receive the sad news of the plane crash yesterday from the Hellenic Coast Guard. The two victims identified as South African citizens and Indonesian citizens identified as Mr. Ahmad Jahron Burhani, 60 years old private pilot from Jakarta. Mr. Burhani found it unconscious, and the Hellenic Coast Guard and search and rescue group tried to give him CPR and using the defibrillator on boat from the crash spot to the Iraklio port, and immediately sent him to the Venizelio hospital. However, the Venizelio hospital has declared the Mr. Burhani dead.
Right. Can you give any details as to why the plane crashed?
Up until today, the respective authorities of the Hellenic Republic are working their best to investigate the cause of the crash and ensure that they will inform us any findings and development regarding this matter.
Okay, Mr. Reinhardt, can you tell us about the Indonesian embassy's next steps in this incident?
Okay, so the Embassy of Indonesia in Athens, in close coordination with the respective authorities in the Hellenic Republic, particularly the Hellenic Coast Guard and the Venizelio Hospital, as well as the employing company of the victim and his family in Indonesia. And the Greek authorities are still in the process of completing the medical works and completing the necessary documents, including the death certificate. And we are doing our best to expedite the process of sending the late pilot home.
Right. So do you have perhaps a timeline of how long it would take to repatriate the body of the victim?
We hope it could be in a couple of days, but we cannot make sure when the bodies could be sent home. But we ensure you that we are doing our best to expedite the process.
Okay, Mr. Reinhard Klausu-Rinka, third secretary at the Indonesian embassy in Athens, thank you so much for the updates of this crash in Greece, which has cost the life of one Indonesian.